Hey, we're here with Phil Davis, national champ at 197 from Penn State and current UFC fighter. Just got a submission of the night. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate you coming out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're going to talk about cutting weight, kind of where you start out as far as like trimming down your diet, you know, like where you're in the heavy phase, and then, you know, you got your weight, you know, your weigh-in. Where do you start trimming it down? Like how far out, and like what are you changing with your diet and everything?
As far as diet goes, once I'm in fight camp, I really start eating cleaner. Except for every now and then my sugar will get low, so I'll throw in a honey bun or something, a little something I do. But other than that, I just try to keep myself, when I'm getting down to this last couple of weeks, try to get to around like 217, and right around 12, 13 pounds is just striking distance I can make weight within, you know, 2 or 3 hours. So there's never really a lot of need for me to get lower than that.
Okay.
Until, you know, maybe 4.
All right, so let's say you're at that phase right there. How is it that you lose the weight? Like, what is it that you're doing to drop the weight? What kind of tactics, what kind of strategies do you have?
Right. Basically high cardio. I'll hit the elliptical for an hour straight, and usually that's about 8 pounds. But I mean, again, I'm drinking a lot of water,
right.
All through camp, all the time drinking
Carrying
a lot of
like
water.
a gallon jug with you.
Absolutely. I should be able to finish a gallon jug pretty much in one workout.
Oh wow.
So.
Keep those pores open.
Yeah, definitely keeps the pores open, keeps your fluids high, and I'm always a pretty good sweater. So.
Yeah. And then sauna suits and stuff, like when you're training at that level, you said the elliptical machine, you like to keep it like slow and steady. You're not like doing like bursts and rest type thing, or?
A lot of guys switch it up, do bursts and intervals. I don't. I just do slow and steady. Try not to get myself actually tired or out of breath.
Right.
But once you have on a sauna suit, you know, once you break a sweat, you can do anything just to keep that sweat going. And that's what I do. I just keep my heart rate around 115,
right, and
do that for an hour, and you have at least 8 or 9 pounds.
So what are some tips, like something you've learned, like maybe as far as like food or type of exercise or whatever else, that you might be able to share with everybody else who just started cutting weight?
One thing you definitely have to do is I use a lot of biofeedback. When I'm on the elliptical and I have my sauna suit on, I chart when I start sweating. So if I start sweating at minute 3, I'm going to lose probably 5 pounds by the time I get to half an hour mark. If I start sweating at minute 17, I'm going to be on there for 45 minutes before I lose 2 pounds.
Yeah, it's all about the temperature, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you have to know your body, and you know, when you start sweating will tell you how dehydrated you are, what type of stuff you've been putting in your body, and you know, how long you need to be on there.
Are you like checking your weight like before and after every meal, or do you have some kind of like schedule or like rhythm that you get into, like say, you know, the day before, 2 days before type thing? Like what is it that you're doing that, you know, is kind of different, you know, that other people might not do?
Definitely I check my weight at night. A lot of people like to check in the morning. I think that's typical because you're going to sleep off 2 pounds, and
right,
you're going to see a lower weight in the morning. But I'd rather see my weight after I am full and hydrated. I usually train at night, get a good meal in, and then I want to know what I weigh after that meal. After I feel good and hydrated and you know, satiated, I want to know what I weigh right then. You know, you don't, you know, want to know. To me, it's pointless knowledge. Not pointless, but you know, when you find out what you weigh in the morning,
your empty stomach,
famished. Yeah. Exactly.
You can eat breakfast and then
like, now you're not that
exactly. Yeah.
So.
No, that's a good point. What's the craziest thing you've ever done to make weight? You know, you see people doing like wild stuff, like cutting their hair, or you know, taking laxatives, or you know, chewing. Like, you know, you see guys doing it all the time. Like, what are mistakes that you know that you might have made like in your previous history over the years?
First mistake is sauna. I definitely use the sauna, but if you're more than 4 to 5 pounds over, you don't want to use the sauna. You want to get moving.
Yeah, some guys just sit there and it gets too hot.
It gets too hot.
Yeah.
And the reason is the sauna just takes all your energy out.
Yeah.
Takes all your energy. You use the sauna too early, and man, you really feel it. You definitely feel it. Hot tubs, even worse than the sauna.
Zap your energy.
Zap your energy. I would much rather get going, exercising. I'll have so much more energy after I'm done.
You're burning calories and you're increasing your metabolism.
So you're speeding yourself up, you're losing the weight, and after you're done, you're going to continue to lose more weight, even if you're not sweating.
Right.
So, number 2, number 3, spitting.
See you guys doing it all the time.
Yeah, if you have a couple of tenths, okay, 2-3 tenths, cool. Go ahead, spit it out instead of working out. Other than that, don't even do it.
No, it's a waste of time.
Don't even do it. Oh man, in high school, these guys used to fill up a Gatorade bottle with spit. But you just,
takes like all day.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah, there's better ways of doing it for sure.
Definitely.
And then about recovery, what is it you're putting in your body? Say, obviously it's different in the UFC. You've got 24 hours now.
Right.
Guys are IVing or eating steak dinners or whatever. But in wrestling, you've got like 2 hours, hour. What is it you're putting in your body at that time? Is it like a lot of fruits, a lot of water? Like what is it that you do?
Wrestling, 1 hour weigh-in, I would go cup of soup, a bagel, and maybe a piece of bread. Definitely a good amount of Gatorade and some water. Get my fluids back in with some electrolytes. Some guys like Pedialyte. That throws my stomach off a little bit too much, but a lot of guys like that. Right. Just kind of a personal thing. Definitely you don't want to go all water. Once you're dehydrated, it's too late to go all water to rehydrate. You definitely got to get some electrolytes back in you.
Right.
But for UFC, whenever I'm cutting weight, I slam water because I know that as soon as I get my chance, I'm going to go eat an entire meal full of sodium. And,
right.
Want to have a banana immediately and a full meal full of all the other nutrients I need pretty soon.
Right. So once you get to the 24-hour weight, it doesn't really matter too much as far as what you're putting in, just, maybe more the timing,
right.
Not throwing it all in at once,
right?
Because you get the stomach ache and you feel like you're gonna puke. So maybe it's more like the fruits and the bananas and the stuff, early on, and then you get to the regular meals, and then you're pretty much hydrated and refreshed and ready to go type thing.
Definitely, a lot of things. Big mistake guys do is when they're cutting a lot of weight, you're more thirsty than hungry, and you end up over drinking, and your stomach will get all filled up with Gatorades and water, and then you don't have enough space for food.
Right.
So definitely got to take your time and drink some, eat up a bunch, drink a little bit more. Make sure you're getting a decent amount of fluids in so you don't cramp, but you definitely want to save space for food.
Yep, exactly. Well, anything else that you recommend as far as any tips or anything else like for the fans?
Definitely. If you haven't used the sauna suit before, you definitely want to use one, short periods of time, just until you get used to it, and then you'll know how you'll feel. It's a great tool when it's used properly, and I've used them for international trips, and it's just been an invaluable part of my career. So.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time, and congratulations on the transition in MMA and great success.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.